Test preparation. First, bring the device to room temperature before opening the pouch to avoid condensation of moisture on the membrane. Open the package and remove the kit. Collect the sample from the donor using the provided cup and ask them to secure the lid before they hand it back to you. Step 2. Test administration. Verify the temperature strip on the front of the collection cup to ensure a fresh sample. Next, use the pipette to draw the urine sample you collected from your teen from the cup we provided. You should draw to the line marked on the pipette. Dispense the entire contents from the pipette, about 3 drops worth, into the sample well. It is marked S on the test card. If you are administering the test to several of your teens, be sure to use a separate pipette and device for each sample. Step 3. Interpreting test results. Read the results between 3 and 8 minutes, not after 8 minutes. You want to see a line next to the C which stands for the control line, as in quality control. This means the test worked exactly like it was supposed to and there's nothing wrong with it. If there's no line next to the C, then the test is invalid. You also want to see a line next to the T, which stands for the test line. If there is a line next to the T, then your teen hasn't been smoking recently. This is the kind of result you want to see. If there is no line next to the T, and there is a line next to the C, then the test is indicating the recent use of tobacco, and the control line is indicating that it is a valid test. Step 4. Gaining perspective. Do not be surprised if the test indicates tobacco use and your teen cries foul, claims the test is defective, and tries to guilt you into believing them and swears on their life that they didn't smoke. They also frequently try to blame secondhand smoke from their friends. Please know in advance that this is a cop-out, since the detection levels are set high enough on these kits that the possibility of secondhand smoke setting off a positive test is practically eliminated. There's no need to argue, simply to have a confirmation test performed at a lab. If you have saved the collection cup and lid we provided, then it's very easy to have that exact sample taken to a lab. If you wait a few days to take them to the lab and have your teen provide another fresh sample instead, then their body may have had enough time to clear the evidence of tobacco use out of their system, and they know, or at least hope, they'll get away with it. You might want to give your teen the opportunity to tell the truth and admit their usage before using a lab confirmation test. Some parents tell us that they've had good luck explaining to their teens that their consequences will be more severe and the costs of performing the confirmation test will become the responsibility of the teen if the results come back to prove that they used tobacco and continued to lie about it when they were given the chance to come clean. More often than not, the teens will confess and confirmation won't be necessary. However, in the highly unlikely event that there was some sort of cross-reaction with something that caused a false reading, as teens who are caught will often attempt to claim, a confirmation test should reveal the truth, and you should never be in the position of placing a false accusation against your teen. One other note regarding the collection of urine to perform this test. There is the possibility that your teen is committed to continued use of tobacco and may attempt to avoid your consequences by attempting to substitute, dilute, or adulterate their sample. If you suspect that your teen is highly likely to substitute someone else's clean sample or add adulterants to try to mask their usage, then you may choose to observe them as they fill the clear collection cup with the temperature strip that we provided to you. Other things you can do to prevent tampering besides observing the collection include putting one of the blue toilet bowl cleaners that you can pick up at a local department store or drugstore for about $1 into the reservoir of your toilet and prohibiting them from turning on the water faucet to wash their hands in the sink until after they have given you their sample. If your teen tried dipping the cup into the blue toilet water in an effort to dilute the sample, then you would notice the obvious discoloration through the clear cup design and know that an attempt at adulteration was made. If your teen tried to dilute a sample using the faucet to get clear water in their sample, it is likely that it would move the temperature above or below the acceptable range on the temperature strip located on the front of the kit. If there is an absence of color on the temperature strip, then it is likely that you just identified an attempt to adulterate or substitute a clean alternative sample that they collected in advance from a friend and kept it hidden out of sight until you decided to test them. To be safe, you just might ask them to wash their hands after you have the sample in yours. Admittedly, observed collections can be a touchy subject in some families and may or may not be necessary. Thank you.